So in this video, we will be discussing about linearly dependent and linearly independent vectors. So that's the topic. And to make you understand this concept, I have taken one sample question where we have four vectors here. You see x1, x2, x3, and x4. These are the four vectors. And we are supposed to find out whether these vectors are linearly dependent or they are independent. So the solution will begin like this. Now understand, every time when you want to figure this out, you have to write down, you have to begin your solution with a let statement. We will assume something like this. Let's say k1 x1 plus k2 x2 plus k3 x3 plus k4 x4 equal to 0. Now that is going to be a statement to begin the solution, and this will always be the case. Now if you observe carefully, we already know the values of x1, x2, x3 and x4. That is given to us, right? x1, x2, x3, x4. The only thing we don't know is k1, k2, k3, k4. And in this problem, we will basically find out these values of k1, k2, k3, k4. I'll show you how that works. Now, let us first substitute the values of x1, x2, x3, x4 here. So this will be k1. The x1 is 1, 2, 4. Then k2 and x2 is 2, minus 1, 3. Then k3 and x3 is 0, 1, 2, and k4, x4 is minus 3, 7, 2, and that is equal to 0. Now let us multiply this whole thing. Let's multiply k1 inside to this vector. So this k1 into 1 is just k1. Then this is 2k1. This is 4k1. So I got the first vector here. Then let's multiply k2 inside. This will be 2k2 minus k2 and 3k2. Okay. Plus let's multiply k3 inside, 0 k3, then k3, and then 2k3. Okay. Plus let's multiply k4 inside. This will become minus 3k4, 7k4, and 2k4. And that whole thing is equal to 0. Now once you get this as an expression, from this we can separate. This is a matrix, this is a vector form. We can just separate these like this. So I'll write down equations like k1 plus 2k2 plus 0k3 plus minus 3k4. See, k1 plus 2k2 plus 0k3 minus 3k4 is equal to 0. I wrote the first values of all these vectors here. Okay, and I got the first equation. Now the second equation would be 2k1 minus k2, now this term here, plus k3 plus 7k4 is equal to 0. Then the last one would be 4k1 plus 3k2 plus 2k3 plus 2k4 is equal to 0. Okay, so we have got these three equations here. And now if you observe carefully, this is system of linear equations. The reason why I'm calling this is a linear, because there is no higher order, or the power of all the variables over here is 1. That makes it linear. And system simply means there are total 3 equations in a system. And also the very important point that you have to note, that this system is a homogeneous system. Okay, and what do you mean by homogeneous system? It is of the type ax is equal to 0, or right hand side over here is 0. Do you see these are all zeros? And that is basically a homogeneous system. Okay, so ax is equal to 0 as a homogeneous system we have got here. Now we will write down this system of equation in again a matrix form. So let me rewrite a system of equations in matrix form. Okay, which goes like this. This is 1, 2, 0, minus 3. I took these values, 1, 2, 0, minus 3. And can I write like this? This is k1, k2, k3, and k4. Okay, so I got this. And the right hand side is anyways 0. So you can just write down this as 0, 0, 0 if you want. Or if you can just write down this is equal to 0. It's the same thing. Anyways, let's write the second equation. This will be 2, minus 1, 1, and 7. That's the second row over here. And the third row is going to be 4, 3, 2, and 2. So once we get it in the matrix form, now this is exactly comparable to this. Can you compare that? So if I compare this with this, okay, if I compare these two, do you understand this is A? Okay, this is one matrix. The first matrix is A. Then this matrix over here is X. So this is A times X equal to 0. This is an exact same form. And this form, again, I'll say this is a homogeneous form of system of equation. Anyway, so once we get it like this, now it's time that we reduce and simplify this system of equation. I'll just show you how we do that. First of all, we have to use all the row operations and convert this A into upper triangular matrix. So let me explain what I'm going to do next. That this is the diagonal of matrix A, and below this diagonals, all these numbers, this 2, 4, and 3, we have to make sure that all these numbers are 0. Now, when numbers below the diagonal elements are all 0, this is called as an upper triangular matrix. And once we convert it into upper triangular matrix, that form is called as echelon form. I hope you remember this. If you don't, just see the solution and you will know what's going on. So next task for me is going to be, I want to make this 2, 4, and 3, all these 3 values, I want to make them 0 by doing the proper row operations. So I'll show you how the row operations are going to be. Here, first I'll do R2 becomes R2 minus 2 times R1. Now, how do I write this? I am not looking at the entire matrix or anything. I'm just looking at, look, I have 2 over here. And my goal, my aim is to make this 0. And if this has to be 0, I should simply double this and subtract that from here. Once again, I'll explain that. I have 2 sitting here and I want to make this 0. To make that 0, I will double this and then subtract so that this becomes 0. That's my only strategy. And I'm not looking at anything else, but somehow I want to make this 0. Okay. Now, same goes for the second one, and the other operation will be for R3. R3 means row 3. Okay. For row 3, you will do R3 minus 4 times R1. So this is minus 4 times R1. Okay. So now, while solving this question, okay, just see how the values are. First, let me write down this whole thing. 1, 2, 0, minus 3 is R1, or the first row. This won't change at all. We are only changing R2 and we are changing R3. So next 2 rows will change. And on the right hand side, it is K1, K2, K3, K4. So that will also not get affected as it is. And right hand side is 0. So 0 will also not get affected. Now all you have to do is you have to double this and subtract. So it is going to be 0. So now you have to double this and subtract. Okay. Now here there is a little trick that I would like to suggest, that instead of subtracting is, many people make errors. So I approach this in a little different way, that instead of multiplying by 2 and subtracting, why don't you multiply by minus 2? So you multiply R1 by minus 2 and add. It's the same thing. It's just we are looking at it in a different way so that the errors are minimum. Okay, you make less mistake with that. Follow this. Multiply R1 with minus 2 and add to R2. Okay, let's see what happens. If I multiply R1 by minus 2, 1 into minus 2 is minus 2, and add here makes it 0. Okay, do that here as well. Multiply this with minus 2, that becomes minus 4, and simply add. So minus 4 plus minus 1 is minus 5. Is that correct? So keep doing that. Multiply R1 by minus 2, the 0 will remain 0, and subtract and add. So this is just 1. This will stay as it is. Multiply R1 by minus 2 here. So this will become minus 2 times minus 3, 6. And 6 and 7 is going to be 13. Okay. This is the first operation done. R2 is converted to these new values now. And now next is for R3. What you will do, you will multiply R1 by minus 4. Multiply R1 by minus 4 and add to R3. Multiply by minus 4. 1 into minus 4 is minus 4. And then you add it here. This will become 0. And that's what we want. Okay. So as of now, I managed to make these two 0, which is great. Then I multiply by minus 4 here. So this is minus 8. 2 times minus 4. And then add. Minus 8 and 3 is going to be minus 5. And then next would be multiply by minus 4. 0 will not make any difference. So this 2 will remain as it is. I hope you're following this. Just do the calculations right without making any mistake. And then next would be, this will be minus 3 times minus 4 is going to be 12. And 12 and 2 is going to be 14. Okay. So I got this. Now, next, the only target is we already got these two 0. We want to make this value 0 here. Now you focus on what you got just now. You want to make this 0. So right now it is -5. And to make this 0, the step has to be you do R3 minus R2. So let me do that. R3, the third row, becomes R3 minus R2. So it's very simple. I just have to subtract R2 from R3. So it's 5 minus 5, 2 minus 1, and 14 minus 13. So let me clear some space and write this down. So I'll continue here. And now if you see, we are only changing R3. So R1 and R2 will remain as it is. So it is 1, 2, 0, minus 3, 0, minus 5, 1, and 13 as it is. And then we'll do R3 minus R2. So it's 0 minus 0. This remains 0. Minus 5 minus 5. That's minus 5 plus 5. That becomes 0. That is what we wanted. 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. 14 minus 13 is going to be 1 again. And then K1, K2, K3, K4, they all remain as it is. And right hand side is 0 anyways. So as soon as you get your matrix in this particular form, okay, now this form is called as a echelon form. Okay, so let us write down this as echelon form. Echelon form simply means that if this is your diagonal, all the values below the diagonal are 0. So this is the upper triangular matrix, and we call this as an echelon form. Now, after you get it in the echelon form, next you will do is rewrite as equations. So we'll write down all this matrix back in an equation form, which is a simplified form. So it is going to be like this. This is row multiplied by column. So I'll get 1 K1 plus 2. It's a row by column matrix multiplication. 2 times K2. This is 2 K2 plus 0 K3 minus 3 K4 equal to 0. Then the second row into column will be, this is 0 K1, then minus 5 K2 minus 5 K2 plus 1 K3 plus 13 K4. That is also equal to 0. And then the last row would be K3 plus K4 is equal to 0. So we got all of them in an equation form. Okay. And let me clear some more space over here. Now, if you look at this matrix, this has got 3 non-zero rows. The first, second, and third. All 3 rows are a non-zero. And number of non-zero rows is nothing but a rank of a matrix. So this has got rank 3. And if you see that the variables of the system of equations are K1, K2, K3, K4. So these are n is equal to 4. Okay, that's number of variables you have in the system of equation. And then once you get that R as 3 and n is 4, the rule says that we will need a form parameters, and number of parameters has a formula n minus r, and n, the number of variables here are 4 and rank is 3. So it's 4 minus 3, and 4 minus 3 is 1. So that gives us one parameter, and let the parameter be, say, T1. Let us assume one parameter as T1. Now the thing about parameter is you can use that parameter for any of the variable you want. Okay, in this equation here. So I'm going to do is I'm going to assume, this is a let statement. You can assume this as K3, K4, whichever one you want, but I am assuming this as K4. So K4 is T1. Now just see how as soon as I assume K4 as T1, I will start getting all the values. If I put K4 as T1 here, then I'll get K3 as minus T1. Okay, so let me write that. Therefore, K3 is minus T1. Do you see I already found the values of K3 and K4? So K3 and K4 I already have. The next what I will do is I will put these values here, okay, and rewrite these two equations. So what if I rewrite these two equations? Tell me what happens. So let's write both of them. This will be, the first one will be K1 plus 2K2, which are still unknowns here. The K3 value is anyway 0, minus 3. K4 is T1. So minus 3 T1 is equal to 0. Or I can take minus 3 T1 on the other side. So I'll get that is equal to 3 T1. Equal to 3 T1. That's the first equation simplified. Now for the second equation, this will be minus 5 K2. This one here, which we don't know yet. But K3 we know, K3 is minus T1. this is minus t1, and k4 is t1, so it is plus 13 t1 is equal to 0. Now if you see, I can write this equation as minus 5 k2 is equal to, this is minus t1, 13 t1 would be 12 t1, and on the other side it will be minus 12 t1, and then the minus sign will cancel out, and do you see I got the value of k2 as well. So k2 is going to be 12 by 5. So I got the value of k2 as well. Okay, so far I've got k3, k4 and k2. Now if I put that k2 value back here, I'll put that value back here and I'll get k1. The k1 value will be this is 3t1, and if I put k2 as 12 by 5, this is 12 by 5 t1, right? So this will be, if I put that value here, it is going to be, let's put 12 by 5 t1 for k2, and that will go on the other side. So it will be minus 24 t1 by 5, and you simplify this number and you will get the value of t1 as well. That will be minus 9 by 5 t1. 5 3s are 15, and 15 minus 24 would give you 9. Oh, that's correct. So that's k1 is equal to minus 9 by 5 t1. Now I hope you observed I've got k3, k4, k2, k1, all the values. Now it's time we put them back into the main equation, the assumption that we have started off with. Now we have all these values here, and as soon as I substitute them, I'll get minus 9 by 5 t1. Now that's the value of k1, x1, plus the k2 value is 12 by 5 t1, x2, and plus k3 is minus t1, right? So it's minus t1 x3, that's a k3 value, and k4 value is t1, plus t1 x4 is equal to 0. So the unknowns we had were k1, k2, k3, k4, but then we solved and we got all those numbers here. So as soon as you get all these numbers here, you can simplify this a little bit. So now you can multiply by minus 5 t1. This is just a factor that will simplify this whole thing. If I multiply this entire equation by minus 5 t1, do you see this t1 cancels out? Minus 5 by t1, this t1 will cancel out. This 5 will cancel out. This will become 9 x1. Is that correct? Now next will be minus, the 5 will cancel out, and this will become negative 12 x2, and then this will be plus, the minus sign, minus will make it plus. This is 5 x3, and when you multiply here, this will be minus 5 x4 is equal to 0, and this is the final equation that I've got. Now after you get this equation, I want to just write down the final conclusion, and the final conclusion is the vectors are linearly dependent. Let me explain that. Okay, first let me write down vectors x1, x2, x3 and x4 are linearly dependent. Let me explain. I will explain this what I mean by that. So what I mean by that is, you have got one nice expression of all these vectors, and as soon as you get this expression, you can declare them as linearly dependent vectors. And the reason why you can do that is, look, if I have to write down this 9x1, can I write x1 in terms of all the other vectors? Yes. 9x1 will be equal to what? 12x2 minus 5x3 plus 5x4, right? And what if I take this 9 on the other side? I'll get it 1 by 9. Now, do you see that this x1 is dependent of x2, x3 and x4? So I expressed x1 in terms of all these vectors. So I simply means that x1 is dependent on all these vectors. Simply means that if you change the value of x2, will x1 change? If I change the value of x3, will x1 change? Of course, these values will make a difference to what is the value of x1. So I say x1 is dependent on all these vectors, and that simply means they are dependent on each other. And same way I can write down x2 in terms of all the other, or x3 in terms of all the other vectors, or x4 in terms of all the other vectors. So they all are dependent on each other. Okay, and that was the question what we're supposed to find out, whether vectors are dependent or not. And the final answer is yes, the vectors are dependent on each other. And I hope you followed how we solve this. Now, after this, we're going to see one more question and we will solve in a very similar way and we will see what answers we get. So let's go to the next question now. Let's see one more question now. And the question is same, like we have to find out whether the vectors are linearly dependent or independent. I will only change these values and just see how it works out. Say x1 is 3, 1, 1. And now let's take x2 as 2, 0 and -1, and x3 as 4, 2 and 1, and x4 is, say, let's not take x4 at all. So now we have only three vectors, x1, x2, x3, and we have to check whether they're linearly dependent or not. So the solution will begin in a similar way: k1, x1, k2, x2, k3, x3. Of course, I will need k4. I will not need k4, x4. So let me remove that. So we will begin with this expression. Let's write down k1 is not known, but we have x1 value, which is 3, 1, 1. And then k2 is not known, but x2 value is 2, 0 and -1. And k3 is not known, but value of x4 is 4, 2 and 1. And that is equal to 0. Let us multiply k1 inside. This will become 3k1 and then k1, I multiplied that k1 inside. Then let's multiply k2 inside. This will be 2k2. Then this is 0k2, which is 0 only, and minus k2. Then plus, let us multiply k3 inside. This will become 4k3 plus 2k3 and k3, that is equal to 0. So once we write like that, we write it in the equation form. So the first values are 3k1, 2k2 and 4k3. Let us write that 3k1 plus 2k2 plus 4k3 equal to 0, the first equation. Second equation is k1 plus 0k2 plus 2k3 is equal to 0. And the last equation would be k1 minus k2 plus k3 is equal to 0. That is the last equation. And this is the system of linear equation, to be precise, linear equations, and these are homogeneous as well. So when the equations are homogeneous, they're written as ax is equal to 0, and that's a matrix form of a representation of these equations. So let me write down the matrix form. This is A, this is X, and 0 is anyways equal to 0. And the X values are the variable matrix, which is K1, K2, and K3. And now let us write down these coefficients. I'm just going to make one change here, that instead of writing that 3, 2, 4 as a first row, I will write down 3, 2, 4 as a last row. And look, it really doesn't matter. You can anytime exchange them row wise, so you can always exchange them. So, and I'll take first row up here. So it is 1, -1, 1, and there's absolutely no problem. And then this will become 1, 0, 2, or you can just simply say that I have done operation of R13. Okay, I have exchanged row 1 with row 3, and that's absolutely allowed. And of course, I did that because 1 is very useful to converting them to the 0. And the task, as you know, the same thing that we have to do. We have to make this 0, and this 0. So let us write down the first two operation. We target to make these two 0 first. So it is going to be R2 becomes R2 minus R1, and R3 becomes R3 minus 3R1. So if I do that, these two will become 0, this one and this one. Anyways, so I'll rewrite the matrix here. This is K1, K2, K3, and that is equal to 0. So you have 1, -1, 1, and this will become 0 when you do R2 minus R1, 1 minus 1. 0 minus 1 will become +1 here, and 2 minus 1 will become 1 here. And then this is 3, okay? So next to this operation, R3 minus 3R1, multiply this by 3 and subtract, so it will become 0. Multiply by 3, which is -3, and then subtract will become 5, and this will become 1. Is that correct? So once you do that, next step is going to be, you can make this 5 0, and that's going to be very simple. the step to make that 0 will be R3 becomes R3 minus 5R2. So you'll do this 5 times and subtract, it will become 0. So once you do that operation, let me keep the color consistency here. Okay, so 1 minus 1, 1. The first row unchanged. 0, 1, 1. It's not changed. K1, K2, K3 equal to all this. Only R3 is changing. So let's do R3 minus 5 times R1. If I do 5 times and subtract, 0 minus 0 is anyway 0. That's a good thing. Multiply R2 by 5. So this will become 5 and subtract, it will become 0. And multiply by 5, this will become 5 and subtract. So 1 minus 5 is going to be minus 4. So we already reduced this in a upper triangular matrix form. This is also called as echelon form. Now, once we get it in the echelon form, we have reduced it quite a bit. So we should rewrite all the equations now from this matrix here. So let me make some space for that. So to write equations, we will multiply this row with this column. Then we'll multiply the second row with the same column and third row with the same column so that we will get equations. First row with the column is 1k1 minus k2 plus k3. So k1 minus k2 plus k3 is equal to 0 is the first. Then second row with this is going to give me 0 k1, k2 plus k3. This is k2 plus k3, which is equal to 0. And then last row would be 0 k1, 0 k2 minus 4 k3. This is just minus 4 k3 is equal to 0. So we've got these equations, and from here it is going to be very simple to find all the values of k1, k2, k3. Now this equation will tell you 4k3 is equal to 0. Simply means k3 has to be 0. Otherwise, how minus 4 times k3 becomes 0? The k3 has to be 0, right? So 0 times minus 4 will become 0. So first I got is k3 equal to 0. Now I'll put k3 equal to 0 in this, and then I'll get from here, when I put k3 is equal to 0 here, the k2 is also 0, right? And since k3 and k2 both are 0, so if this is 0 and this is 0, then k1 is also 0. So from the first equation, I'll get k1 is also 0. So all the coefficients here, values are 0. So if I substitute back in this equation, substitute k1, k2, k3 equal to 0 in equation, this one here, we will get 0x1 plus 0x2 plus 0x3 is equal to 0, which is a very valid statement. So if you multiply x1 with 0, x2 with 0, and x3 with 0, you will get 0. Okay. But now do you see that we haven't got any relation between x1, x2, x3? Now, if I ask you, how do I write x1 in terms of, say, x2 and x3? If that's my question, you really have no answer to that. Okay. So we haven't got a representation of one vector in terms of other vectors. Okay. So you just can't do this. You can't write one vector in terms of another vector. And that simply means they're independent. And so they cannot be expressed in other vectors. Okay. And hence we have proved that all the vectors that are given to you, that is x1, x2, and x3, they're all independent vectors, or they cannot be expressed. Okay. One vector cannot be expressed in terms of another vector. That's the whole conclusion of this point. The first problem we have solved, it was the vectors were dependent, and we could get an expression where we can write one vector in terms of another vector. But in this case, they are absolutely independent and we have no expression as such. Okay, I hope you followed this. So final conclusion of this one is the vectors given to you, x1, x2, x3, are linearly independent. So let's write that. Vectors, therefore vectors x1, x2, and x3 are linearly independent.